Hey, welcome back! This episode will take us on a magnificent hike all the way from my classic Norwegian fjord to our third largest glacier, Folgefonna. My name is Magnus, and I make videos about life as a professional creative director. I've driven the road west from Oslo to Bergen and the Hardanger region multiple times, but traveling as a socially functional member of a group usually makes it hard to stop and film pretty locations. I've always wanted to take my time filming Vøringsfossen, close to Hardangervidda, in detail, and I've been curious on the Folgefonna Peninsula for a long time. Part because it's a defining feature of spectacular Hardanger, but also because it's been featured in many ski and snowboard films, including the Norwegian Supervention series. This time I'm going to film as much as possible of what this treasure of Norway has to offer. Join me and my dog Luna on a small adventure from fjord to glacier. And our trip starts here, at the parking lot in Sunndal. I'm using a site called ut.no, it literally means out.no, which sadly isn't available in English as it's updated by local communities. But you can use dnt.no in English and translation to find information on most hikes. I found a hike called Keiserstien, or the Emperor's Path, going all the way from a fjord up to the Folgefonna Glacier. There's some unmanned cabins up there called Fonnabu, and it seems like a perfect goal for the picturesque type of hike I'm looking for. The cabins are built and maintained by DNT, the Norske Turistforeningen, or the Norwegian Tourist Association. I'll talk more about them later. It'll be a relatively grueling hike with a heavy backpack full of camera gear, but it seems worth it. It's a 12-kilometer, 660 meters climb, and my backpack is around 30 kilos. You can do it as a day trip during summer when the days are long, but I hear it's highly recommended to spend the night in one of the cabins up there. I include some industry knowledge in my episodes, mostly cinematography in this case, so hopefully you might pick up something helpful if you're a creative of sorts. You can also ask me anything about the trip, or gear, or whatever in the comments. Our little adventure starts on a gravel road that will take us the first couple of kilometers in towards Bondhusvatnet, a popular Instagram location, to a sharp left turn into a steep hill.
We are just about here, going all the way up here. First to the first cabin, then to Fonnabu, all the way up on the glacier. Look at these old trees. Hi, Liljago. Down there is Bondhusvatnet, but I prioritized going up to the top. I might go down there on my way back, we'll see. But the water there is just, the color is amazing. And down there is the gravel road. Having a little chocolate break before continuing up the hairpins. Biggest mistake people do when hiking, they forget to fuel. Well, maybe not the biggest mistake, considering people go up places like this in flip-flops, and I'm a little under 2 hours in, and it doesn't feel like I've been walking for that long. But then I realized, even though I kind of felt the breakfast still working, it's better to eat before you feel hungry again. Not much, just a little bit, just to keep you topped up, at least in the beginning of the hike. I learned that from road cycling. You usually start to go into the basement, and before you know it, you've bonked and you're out of energy.
We reach Garshamar after doing almost half of the climbing on the trip, which is also the first milestone with an amazing view down to the fjord. I've checked out the route beforehand, and I want to avoid checking the map during the hike unless strictly necessary. I love the feeling of not knowing exactly where the trail is going on these trips. D&T usually does a really good job marking the official trails, so I feel pretty safe. I'll go over the map in more detail once we reach the top.
So first I was wrong, because I thought I was going up on that glacier. Well, it's all connected, but I think we're going up there, so we can't see the big one yet. And the parking lot just keeps getting smaller and smaller. After a longer break at Gashhamar, we're now continuing up the mountain. We can't see down the valley anymore, but we're up on kind of like a new valley further in on the mountain with a little lake down here. And this backpack is heavy, but just gotta go one step at a time. Walking slowly, taking breaks like every 30 minutes or so, and we're gonna get there. You can see we're getting closer and closer to the tree line. The vegetation is just becoming increasingly thinner. Smaller trees. It's incredible to walk all the way down from the fjord and see how everything changes from, you know, thick dense forest up to the scarce mountains and just moss and water, basically. You see clouds are forming like this between the valleys. That's what I'm hoping for. Do everything actually to cloud up towards sunset so I can do some time-lapsing. Hopefully just a lot of clouds and fog filling the valley and then time-lapsing that. I've been thinking about that for years. Hi, Tommy. Er du sliten? Nei. Bare tar seg en liten pause. Vi sover godt på toppen, si. Ja, kan sove godt på toppen. The big irony about me talking about carbs and nutrition is that I should have brought some more whole wheat or what are slower carbohydrates. I mostly have chocolates and cookies. I can feel my blood sugar levels crashing from time to time. Or my pulse has been pretty low during the entire hike. I'm 4 hours in now. It's going to be very nice getting to the top. But so far I'm just really enjoying this landscape and everything. It's so spectacular here. I love it. I absolutely love it. Varsågod. Ja.
Getting closer to the plateau, the fog starts rolling in, resulting in some mystic mountain vibes. I'm tired and I have stopped talking to the camera, but I'm still so energized by the magic of this place. I realize I've been borderline mumbling for a while, and a nagging doubt regarding the length of the trip starts sneaking up on me.
Oh, here it comes.
But with the mountain being the mountain, where the weather can change fast, the fog suddenly clears and reveals an even more impressive vista. I luckily soon spot Breidablikk, 2 small cottages on the beginning of a ridgeline that works as a pit stop. 4 beds compared to the 47 at Fonnabu. I'll be safe there even if the weather turns on me or if I get exhausted, but stopping there will just be in the case of severe weather. I'm still dead set on getting to Fornebu.
Get in contact with our first snow. Skal du på snøen? Er du så glad i snø? Ja, er du så glad i snø nå? Ja. Ja. Hallo. And when I saw the little cabin, Breidablikk, I was like, ah, yeah, this is nice. The worst part of the climbing is over. But I didn't realize the last part, although it's not that high, it's, oh, this is steep. Finally made it. Take a look at this. And we're not even done yet. We're going 1 hour-ish further in to the glacier. But take a look at this. This is the arm, a little finger of the glacier. So we're going further in there. But man, just whoa, balance. Look at this. It's absolutely gorgeous. No, you are absolutely gorgeous. Yes, you are. I was wrong again. Like, just expecting a pleasant straddle along a ridge. But the truth is, if you're hiking in Norway, just expect everything to be a climb uphill all the way until you're there. It is pretty to look at though. I'm really curious though, how did that one dude, that one big rock on its own, get over there? I think, don't say it, but I think it's flattening out. Heidi, er du glad også? Ja. Ja, og vi er snart framme. Gleder du deg til det? Ja. Ja, det blir så fint. Det blir så fint. Hopp. Bra. Høyre. Høyre. Bra. Se på det her, ja. Ja, opp på en topp. Opp på en rygg. Ja, så bra. There it is! Oh! I'm probably just gonna walk along that thing, or I don't know. But I can see the goal. Look at the glacier. Look at it. Oh my god. Oh, this is so awesome. Look at, just. Woo! Oh, here you can see the last stretch. We're taking a break now, though my shoulders are killing me. And the guide said that it's a small hour's walk from Breidablikk to Fornebu. That means a big hour for us. Oh, Luna is so tired. She's such a little trooper. Men det blir så godt å sove litt da. Du sover i eget hus i dag, du da? Ja. And we finally made it. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna take a break and yeah, we'll see if I talk anymore. But I'm gonna go out with the red and shoot a lot of stuff. So we'll... Hey Lina, slapp av da. Er du så gira nå? Yeah, we'll see. So now we're gonna check out. Dogs aren't allowed inside with people, but there's a little dog cabin right here where Luna is going to stay. So she's gonna stay here while I'm inside with the other people, but there's another cabin further down that we're gonna check out where we might actually be able to sleep next to each other and next to the glacier. So it's actually in here are 2 cages, but we're gonna check out the next one and see how it is there. Ska vi checka ut neste hytta?
Ja, kom an. Kjør.
We are going over there to check it out.
Skal vi se her. Skal vi se. Ja, se her da. Ja, her kan vi sove. Ja, det blir fint. Kom an. Ja, vær så god. Ja, her det lov for bisken å være.
The glacier had a calving today, so you can see the ice blocks still down there. Doesn't look like much, but it's a lot of ice. I'm considering taking a bath, but I'm not quite sure. Take a quick wash, at least.
Luna is in her cage, and I'm doing some handheld filming before setting up the cameras to chug away at some time lapses, and getting inside for some rest and food. It's still hard to grasp how alien yet familiar the environment here feels. Now I can tell you a bit about DNT and how all this works in case you want to do the same hike. DNT is an organization you can pay to become a member of, but everyone can still use all of their services with a small price increase. They properly build and maintain trails, hikes and cabins all over Norway, often at spectacular locations like this one. Norway has a freedom to roam, or allemannsretten as it's called, which allows you to use nature without being afraid of getting shot. You can mostly camp anywhere, except for regulated areas with vulnerable nature or a lot of tourism. But the cabins DNT builds are an awesome alternative. It's not free, but it's pretty cheap, especially compared to a hotel, and a very different experience. As an example, you can hike to Fonnabu, pitch a tent outside, use the toilet for free, and even spend time indoors, but you have to pay for indoor beds, food, and gas. I paid around 73 euros for 2 nights for both me and Luna, booked up front. The rules are built on trust, so it's mostly about not being an ass, cleaning up after yourself, and being honest when paying. The cabins are pretty well stocked with food, and it's easy to book online or even do drop-ins at many locations, with all the information you need online. I've already received a warm welcome from the couple of families and other hikers up here, and as the sun sets, we all go out together. The weather is perfect, and I get the feeling that this is going to be something special.
This version of you simply becomes real. And you're right here with this version of you. To see things as they really are. This version of you looking at you. You looking back. This version of you welcoming you. This version of you saying yes. I'd like you to imagine this version of you
we finally made it into our tiny little cottage. Hello, pupper. No electricity. The sunset was just spectacular. I can't wait to start working on the footage. What a day. It's super windy outside now, but that's just cozy. Even though it's small, this cottage is really well built and everything up here needs to be. Glaciers are basically places where it rains or snows. So everything up here is built specialized for the purpose. So it's been a really good day, and now it's good night. Good night! Sådär.
I booked 2 nights stay, but the weather forecast is changing for the worse, which is a bummer. I really want to stay and wait for the wind to calm down to get some drone footage along the edge of the national park, where it's allowed. I also want to explore the area closer to the glacier, another 20 minutes walk from here, but there won't be any point in being here when the entire area turns into a whiteout for a week. It's a very nice morning despite the wind, but I don't want to end up hiking back down in cold rain and fog. I decide to take my time for breakfast and then hike back down. I spent 7.5 hours on my way up, with over a third of it being breaks, and I'm curious how long the descent will take.
The others left early, so I have the entire place to myself. I'm just gonna make some pancakes and another cup of coffee.
If you're a Norwegian just wanting to spend more time in nature, or a tourist wanting to check this out, I can highly recommend using dnt.no and try to translate ut.no. It's a huge resource. I always hope to either have the entire place to myself or meet some nice people when I come to places like this. And I'm never disappointed. Sometimes it just seems to be something in common with almost everyone that wants to enjoy and appreciate nature. Everyone I met yesterday was so nice. One of them, Elizabeth, was even the head of board of DNT Bergen. And it was so nice chatting with her about all their values and what they want to do. Their plans, why they keep building cool cabins, and the incredible craftsmanship that goes into building everything in harmony with the environment. Not to mention that they have to fly a helicopter up twice a year with supplies, and literally fly everyone's garbage and shit from the toilet back down. That stuff ain't going anywhere on its own. Now that we know the route, it's fun to look back at the map, and there was still some surprises in store for me, as you will see on our way back down. The hike can be split into sections. First, we go from Fonnabu to Breidablikk, mostly a straight line along the ridge. Then we continue down the steep Sherpa stairs, around and down a hill before reaching the trail that leads to the first break with an overlook over the inner valley and Botnavatnet. From there we reach the tree line again, and continue downhill to Garshamar as we reach the old farm road. From there it's a nice and wide path in a dense old forest before reaching the crossroads at the bottom, where you can choose to visit Bondhusvatnet or return to the parking lot.
The glacier I thought I was going to walk up on is over there, that little arm that goes down into the valley. And all the way down there is the fjord, or we can actually see the fjord now, but like down there is where we started.
Oi, her ja. Det går fint. Ja, bra, får se pappan sin. Hej, du är så glad, hej. Ja, ska vi gå? Komma! Ja, komma! Jag är så glad inte. Ja, high five! Åh, så bra! Hej du! Ja! Ja! Aj, så sprek!
And so, we begin our next little adventure. Walking along the ridge, we're able to view the contour of the valley that will lead us back down to the fjord.
This is the highest point we'll be at on the entire trip.
Thumbs up.
And now we can see the fjord again. All the way down there is the car parked. The trail goes down. Now we can see it actually. All the way down there.
It's always interesting to me to see the path once I've walked it. What I once didn't know, I now do.
Now we actually walked up this yesterday with this heavy backpack. I know I was slow, but goddamn, 55 minutes in now. And from here and to Fornebu yesterday probably took 2 hours with breaks.
As we look back at Breidablikk and on the hill we're about to round, I also see Garshamar in the distance, which I didn't notice yesterday. It suddenly seems a lot closer.
There's actually a couple of mountain bikes here. Someone brought them up. This will be a descent for them to remember. There's the trail. All the way down there. I'm extremely jelly of those people. Wow, what a descent. And I was wrong as usual, so that's the glacier we can see from the fjord. We can't see that from Fornebu. That's the one we saw from Fornebu.
I have to interrupt here because this is driving me crazy. I didn't realize which glacier was which before deep in the edit. The glacier we can see from both the parking lot and Fornebu, that I thought I was going up on the first day, is Bondhusbrean. The other is Pyttabrean, which is visible from Garshamar, but not from the parking lot and barely from Fornebu.
Yesterday when I hiked up, I took like a 5-minute break every 30 minutes or so. At the end, I had to take breaks every 20 minutes. But now I've been walking a third of the trip in 2 hours. I still feel really good. I just realized I'm drinking small organisms from a glacier. And just like that, the trees are back. Keep walking, and suddenly there are trees.
I read a book called Mastery by Robert Greene every second year or so, and it has a section on how to keep a childlike wonder of the world that I love. The wonder of not knowing, challenging the mind and overcoming insecurity, allowing oneself to let go.
We are back at Garshamar. Our view from yesterday.
The road from here is pretty uneventful now that we've seen the grand prize at the top. We do, however, decide to take the short detour and visit Bondhusvatnet to see what it's like, and to get a couple of photos for the gram. I can't recommend this trip enough. I met many people on the way both up and down, some on a day trip and some for staying up there for a night or two. I know that I'm definitely going back, hopefully during winter, to catch both some northern lights and the Milky Way. But for now, thanks for watching.
Finally back down. I really didn't know. Imagine, like, I've been up there. It's just amazing. And no break-ins in the car. All is good. So now I'm just gonna continue on to Rosendal and get some rest.
Next episode.